Hello there folks, my name is Spoonks and I saw
Superman! I give it a thumbs up!
He did it, ladies and gentlemen. James Gunn actually did it. He delivered a very solid, very fun, well-made, excellent Superman movie against all the odds. This movie lived up to all of my expectations. I absolutely loved this movie, and I think it sets up the new DC universe very, very well. Once again, I had a blast with this. I loved how, despite the fact that this isn't the typical Superman origin story, because, well, pretty much we all know the origins of pretty much the most iconic superhero of all time, the movie was still able to bring us into this world and introduce us to these characters in this universe in a way that felt refreshing, unique, and totally fun. It relishes in the fact that it's a comic book movie, so much so that at certain points it feels like a live action cartoon, and I mean that in the best way possible. I found the story, again, while not an origin story, still felt like a solid introduction to Superman for the newcomers. It still gives you the gist, it still introduces us to the characters and gives us a new take on this character that I found really unique, emotional, funny, and heartfelt. I really love David Cornsweet as Superman. He embodied the character excellently. He has the humanity, the humor, and the charm all needed to make Superman likable. And Lex Luthor, played by Nicholas Hoult, was just so evil and maniacal and psychotic. Nicholas Hoult did a fantastic job with the character. Rachel Brosnahan was also fantastic as Lois. She has the humanity but also the spunk and the wit that you would expect from her, and the chemistry between her and Clark and Superman were also really sweet and fun. Their dynamic and the way they play off of each other was really sweet, and the romance felt really earnest and warm, and you really buy their love for each other for sure. The Justice Gang in here were also fun additions, especially Mr. Terrific, who I wasn't expecting to be as crucial to this movie as I thought he would be, but he was certainly a welcome addition, definitely a highlight of this movie. And of course, Crypto was just adorable and hilarious and sweet. Oh my god, just give me more. Just give me more of that dog. The movie is also hilarious. I found this movie to be so funny. The fact that it leans into the silliness and insanity of the DC comics and the Superman comics really adds to the humor of the film. It's not like it's like the obnoxious self-aware or like, whoa, isn't this wacky? But it knows it's silly and it runs with it, and again adds to the comedy. I laughed several times throughout this movie. The comedy was just really funny. The timing was there, and it definitely carried that same James Gunn style of humor, not to the extent that the Suicide Squad had it. That was way more dark and crass, but this was still really funny and definitely typical James Gunn humor that really works for me. The movie also has a really fast pace, dare I say it flew by. Despite the fact that there's so much going on, there's all these characters and subplots and a lot of story beats happening. To me, it never felt messy, it never felt jumbled or too much was going on. It all felt balanced, and you know, it kept the movie going on and kept me invested in everything that was going on. I think everything had the right amount of time given to itself, and the characters were well developed and again given the most to be likable and charming and never feel like overshadowed by anything else. And again, despite the fact that this is 2 hours, it really flew by, and I was really appreciative of that. But the best thing about this movie is the message, the emotion, and the heart of it. The fact that it's all about, you know, looking out for hope and kindness and what it truly means to be a human, especially in this day and age, I found to be really touching, really sweet, so emotional. Dare I say it? I cried. It actually got me to tear up at certain points due to how strong the emotional beats hit and how well earned they are, and just a lot of the sequences really touched and moved me, and I think that's what we really need right now, especially in the, like I said, in this day and age, just something to really give you hope and passion, and I think this movie delivered on that front. And of course, the action was really solid. James Gunn knows how to do solid action sequences. Again, the movie leans into the silliness and the wackiness, and again, I think it adds to the action sequences. At least there's some very silly, very fun, well put together action sequences. There's one in particular involving Crypto and Superman that was just a sight to behold. So ridiculous, so cartoonishly over the top, yet so fun and ridiculous. It could have looked jarring, it could have looked really stupid, but he was able to make it work thanks to the cinematography, the choreography, and how everything was put together, and the special effects all looked stunning and visually impressive. Nothing felt rushed, nothing felt cheap. It all looked very strong. Now, if there is one issue I had with this movie, I will admit it did feel a bit bloated. Yeah, the fast pace of it all and the fact that the movie moves fast didn't bother me, but the amount of characters and subplots at a certain point did start to weigh in on me, especially during the climax. There's all this stuff going on, and I started to feel the weight of everything and really said to myself, oh my god, there's a lot for Superman to handle in this one movie. And I think as they cut down a bit on certain characters, or maybe just tighten things a bit up, maybe in the latter half of the movie, I wouldn't feel this bloated. And I know it's been a big problem for a lot of other people, so maybe had like shorten things out, don't go as big or grand. You can go big and grand, obviously, but not to this extreme. But that's about it, really. I loved this movie. Again, he nailed it. He knocked it out of the park once again, and I really think this sets up for a really solid cinematic universe. If this is the standard we can continue getting with these other movies down the road. I know Supergirl is next year, and I'm already looking forward to it. I had a blast with this movie. It hit all of my high expectations. It was everything I wanted it to be and more. I don't know what else to say about this. If you were as excited for this movie as I was, if you've loved all the trailers and you're really excited to see James Gunn's vision for DC, definitely go check it out. Or if you even just want to see a nice Superman movie after it's been so long since we've gotten one, I'd say go check it out. I highly recommend it. I loved it. So those were my thoughts on Superman. What did you all think of it? If you've seen it, did you like it? Did you hate it? Comment down below and let me know. If you like this video, hit the like button. If you like this channel, hit the subscribe button. Follow me on all the social media links at the end of the video. And until next time, everyone, stay sharp.